We're going to take a look at the rules to exponents, and these are just a few of the rules. These are not every single rule to exponents, but just a few of them. We're going to do that taking a look at a PowerPoint slide that I used in class for notes. This slide is going to introduce the rules by first showing examples to let you see how it actually works, and then giving the rule at the very end. So if you don't quite understand, you may have to go back and watch this a couple of times to completely try to understand the rule. We're going to look at 4 of these rules. The first rule, or the first example for the first rule, is 2 to the third, x to the fourth, y squared. Now, this works out. 2 to the third is 2 times 2 times 2. X to the fourth is x times x times x times x, and y squared is y times y. Now, just a quick thing on the fact that this 3 right here, the 4 and the 2, these are called exponents. And then the exponent is always attached to a base. And so in this case, 2 is a base, x is a base, and y is a base. The exponents tell us to multiply the base by itself this many times. So 2 was multiplied by itself 3 times. X was multiplied by itself 4 times, and y by itself 2 times. And the result was this right here. The next problem is 3x to the third, y to the fourth. Now, a lot of people will say that this 3 right here goes with this 3 as well. But if you take a look, it does not. This 3 is no longer a base. It's a coefficient. And so we just put that 3 out in front, and then this is x to the third, so x times x times x, and y to the fourth, y times y times y times y. The next example is 7x y to the third. Once again, a lot of people think that this 3 would go with the x or maybe even the 7, but it does not. You can see here that we have 7, just 1x. There is an understood 1 exponent right here. So there's 1x, and then y to the third. Now the rule that this is going to create is exponents go with the base to the left, and only the base directly to the left. So you can see right here, this 3 went with the base y, and only y. It did not go with x or the 7. So that's the first rule, is that the exponent goes only with the base to the left. This 3 only goes with the x. So, and it does not go with anything else. For the second rule, we're going to start off looking at negative 3 squared. A lot of people will think that this means negative 3 times negative 3, but as we take a look, you can see that the negative simply stays to the outside, and this is really 3 times 3, giving us an answer of negative 9. Once again, this is something that is commonly mistaken. A lot of people want to put this down as negative 3 times negative 3 and make it a positive 9, but it is not. The next example, we have parentheses around this, but you know, a lot of people want to say that this is negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4, but even though these parentheses are around it, this is really still just negative 4 to the third power with this negative sign staying on the outside, and then 4 times 4 times 4, giving us an answer of negative 64. Now, had this 3 been on the outside, the answer still would have been negative 64. This is why I wrote this out right here with the negative on the outside, and then 4 times 4 times 4. In this case right here, with the exponent on the inside of the parentheses, the negative still is not included with the base. This really kind of goes with the first rule, saying that the exponent goes with whatever is to the left and only with what is directly to the left. This negative sign is not included with the base. Now when we take a look at this one, because the parentheses are around the negative 2 and the exponent's on the outside, now the base is what's to the left, and the parentheses mean that our base is actually negative 2. So in this case, it's negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, which would give us a negative 8. The next one, Once again, the exponent's on the outside of the parentheses. So the negative is included with the base, and this would be negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3 times negative 3, giving us a positive 81. Now, something that I want you to notice is that even when the negative was with the base on this one, it was still a negative answer. Well, the reason for that was the exponent was odd. Whenever we have an odd number of exponents, our answer will always be negative. And the reason for that is two negatives make a positive. So if these two negatives make a positive, the fact that we have an odd number, this turns it right back to a negative. Well, down here, whenever we have an even exponent, then two negatives make a positive, two negatives make a positive, and my answer stays positive. So anytime we have an even number of exponents, it's going to be positive, and odd would be negative. So the rule that's made by this is negatives are not included with the base unless there are parentheses around the negative and the base with the exponent outside of the parentheses. Then the second part to this is when there are parentheses around the negative and the base, odd exponents have negative answers and even exponents have positive answers. Now going back up to the first part of this rule is that the exponent has to be outside of the parentheses. Notice right here with the exponent inside of the parentheses, it still did not make this negative go with the base. The exponent has to be on the outside of the parentheses for the negative to be included with the base. And then once again, that last part, just reiterating that if we have an odd exponents, that it'll be a negative answer, and even is going to be a positive answer when the parentheses are around the negative and the base. So once again, the parentheses have to be around the negative and the base, and the exponents have to be on the outside for this to happen.